The 15 over 2 upset. It is always, it's not always going to happen, but when it does, it leaves a major mark on March Madness. And here we are looking at the potentially biggest 15 over 2, the most realistic 15 over 2 upset that we have seen not only this year, but potentially of the past decade. I think this one is going to be very big. It's going to send shockwaves across the world. Sean, who is this mysterious 15 seed that can upset the two in advance? Not only one game, but maybe two, maybe to the Elite Eight, maybe to the Final Four. Who's this team?
The Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. I mean, this is a fantastic team that is so much better than a 15 seed. They won the Summit League Championship pretty handily. They're leading for a lot of that game. They led throughout the Summit League Championship for most of their games, and they have the top scorer in the country with Max Abmas, 24 points a game, 48% from the field, 43% from deep, and 89.9% from the line. When you have a player like that, you will win college basketball games, and we've seen with every single team that's been able to pull off one of these crazy upsets. You usually have a star. I mean, you think the most recent one with Middle Tennessee State in 2016, you had Reggie Upshaw and Giddy Potts. Both were fantastic players for the Blue Raiders under Kermit Davis. That's the last one that happened 5 years ago. And before that, you had Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast in 2013, C.J. McCollum and Lehigh in 2012, and you also had Norfolk State led by Kyle O'Quinn in the same season. They don't happen often. There's only been 8 ever, but I think we have the 9th this year. And it's not just Abmas and Kevin O'Banner, who averages a double-double and shoots 45% from deep. You have Kareem Thompson, who's 6'6" and can shoot. You have Deshang Wagner, who's 6'8", came off an injury last year. He can shoot. He can defend a little bit. They struggle defensively as a whole. They're a smaller team, kind of like Ohio State. And then you have Carlos Jurgens, who's the best defender as a guard. You have Francis Lasis, who got a big block at the end of the game against North Dakota State to seal the win. Facing a team like Ohio State that's not big, even though EJ Liddell probably will feast and drop 30, Oral Roberts might score 100. So I think that this is a historical upset. It'll only be the 9th time it's ever happened. And, Oral Roberts could make a run to the Sweet 16 if they can knock off the winner, Virginia Tech and Florida. But I would not even be remotely surprised if Oral Roberts is able to win here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one, I think going from the Ohio State point of view, this is a 2 seed that, isn't necessarily the most overwhelming 2 seed. If they played Houston, for example, I think Houston could dominate on the boards, dominate on the glass. If they play Alabama, I think Alabama could just boat race them from 3. But Ohio State, one, they're not really a great defensive team. They're individually, their defenders are fine pieces, but they're not overly long. They're not overly athletic. So you have that in the mix. It kind of opens it up to a mid-major team that can score. And one thing we know about Oral Roberts, they can score with the best of them. This season, they average 81.8 points per game. They will get their shots up. They will score. And this is a team that early in the season, they played Oklahoma State very close. They played Oklahoma pretty close. They played Arkansas very close. So they've proven it already this year. They can play close games against good teams. This is a team, I think it's the most likely 15 over 2 upset we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't happen often at all.
Yeah. So this is the 15 over 2 upset to watch. Make sure to subscribe to Making the Madness on YouTube. We'll be coming out with some more videos as the NCAA tournament gets near.